And then let's get into our NBA though. Back to that Harden trade. 4 teams tied in with this. The Nets, a lot of players on the move with James Harden on the way. How long till you can trust any of these 4 teams, Brett?
Well, I guess immediately the Nets won immediately versus the Knicks. So, in all honesty, it'll take some time for these guys to get adjusted. Levert, for instance, going to the Pacers, he had been coming off the bench for Brooklyn. He'll be starting now again. He started before, but it'll be a little bit of an adjustment. New team, new role. Jared Allen had been starting for the Nets. I'm not sure what his role will be for the Cavs, so we'll have to see and watch there. With the Rockets, your franchise player just left, so obviously there will be some role changing there as well. And then with the Nets, you got to find a way to incorporate all 3 of those guys in your offense, although with the Kyrie news, I guess just 2 of those guys.
Well, and the Harden news took up a large majority of the day. There were some other teams that were also mentioned as potential trade targets. I know Philadelphia, Ben Simmons, and Maxi's name were specifically mentioned as possible options. I saw sources saying Simmons is actually very relieved he wasn't traded and he loves Philadelphia. I was potentially worried about animosity when you potentially have names brought up and then they don't get traded. What's it like in the locker room after that? But maybe Philadelphia's best off keeping the chips as they are with Simmons, Embiid, and Harris, which is a trio of their own.
Yeah, no, they're really good. Seth Curry's been great for them. He has some COVID issues, so that's really the only thing that's slowing him down. But I think the Sixers kind of chose to stand pat because maybe they could have offered a better individual talent on the court, but Brooklyn ends up giving up 4 picks here, maybe a 5th pick with if you include the Cavs. Well, it's the Bucks pick from the Cavs, but just tons of picks going to Houston, and you love that because those are controllable contracts. Those are future assets. You can always move those and trade up in a draft. So there's lots of value in having a lot of picks.
Yes, let's talk about the Thursday games though, Brett, because while some of those teams that we talked about will be playing like the Sixers facing off against the Heat, we don't have that line on Wednesday night. There is one line that I do like, the Hornets versus the Raptors. Raptors have been terrible against the spread. We've been over this in our past few episodes. Charlotte playing pretty well together. I'm liking the Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, LaMelo Ball. They're all playing, getting the confidence together. I think that team potentially has a high ceiling. And them at +8 on the spread looks very good to me. Money line at +260. I'm not going to get too confident and take that, but the spread is phenomenal, I think, with the 8 points.
Yeah, I also kind of like Charlotte here, Higgins, but I'm staying away. I see you like it, so I'm staying away. I think Charlotte's been playing better than expected, and Toronto has not been as good as expected. Although, with moving your whole franchise to Toronto, from Toronto, to Tampa, that could be more challenging than I anticipated. So, I just kind of thought they'd pick up, like, oh, they did it a year ago, they'll do it again. But it might not be the case, Higgins. So, I think that Charlotte +8 makes a lot of sense.
The Raptors are 2-8 to start their season, 3-7 against the spread. So the fact that they're 8-point favorites against a 6-5 Charlotte team, I don't know. It's an interesting line, and I'm just going to take it while it's there because who knows what news is going to come down and shake this up. So I don't know about this Warriors-Nuggets line at Denver -5. I'm going to stay away from those other lines. Maybe look at one of those other 4 games when we have lines on those for Thursday. Post that on our social media potentially, at NBB Pod on Twitter and at NextBestBet on Instagram.